Morning Facebook, how you doing? YouTube and whoever else, and Telegram and whoever else I belong to at the moment. It's been a while. How you doing? To be honest with you, I've not done a video for a while, just because there's not really been a lot to report on. I mean, there's been loads and there's been loads to say. You know, it's just I'm just at a point where I'm not getting any messages out there. People aren't listening. People aren't they're just going to do as they're told and just carry on doing it. But the reason I'm doing a video today is something that's just it's disturbed me, and it should disturb everyone else. And if it doesn't wake people up, and if what I'm about to tell you does not make you question any kind of council member or any kind of governmental member or any kind of NHS member, what I'm about to tell you doesn't make anything sound like a bell ringing in your head at all, then you really need a check-up from the neck up, because it means you've got no feeling up here, no thoughts and feelings up here. Now, I'm walking around Asda, no mask, and I'm getting all sorts of evil looks, as you do, and funny looks and all that lot, right? It's weird how it worked out, and I know people are going to go, oh, he's lying. And you probably will think I'm lying, and that's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to do a follow-on video to this on Monday when I make a phone call to Medway Hospital. But anyway, I was walking around Asda, and a woman said to me, shouldn't you be wearing a mask? I went, no, why? She went, well, I'm not being funny. I think it's a bit selfish that you're not wearing a mask, and you should be wearing a mask to protect others. I went to her, do you know what I've just got off the phone? And she went, what's that got to do with it? I went, a lot. I went, I've just got off the phone to a very dear friend of mine, and they are livid because they work in a care home, and she's just gone into work today into a very vulnerable care home, and there's a patient there who's had a slight fall. He's on the waiting list for a hip replacement, but they needed him to get to the hospital to get checked out. He was refused into Medway Hospital, telling them that Medway Hospital was now shut, was now closed, was not taking any more patients in, and that basically they'd have to try another hospital. The care home's gone mad apparently at the hospital and said, well, what are we meant to do? And they said, we'll try Sittingbourne. Otherwise it's going to be Dartford. Now, that's for a hip replacement. That's not for a ventilator. That's not for anything else. That's for a hip replacement. He's had a slight fall. Yesterday, I spoke to another woman who works in a care home, a good friend of mine as well. And she had a patient that was due to go and have a stent put in. He's 65, blah, blah, blah. Yep, I'll get more details as time goes on, because I'm going to follow this story, because I'm not happy at all. This is disgusting, and this is whoever doesn't speak out about this, you're just as complacent and just as to blame, yeah? We all have nans and granddads. I don't personally, but this is really, really... If my nan was in a care home now, I'd be fucking going mental. Basically, both people from... and this is why I thought, at first I thought it was lies, and then I looked into it, and I rang Medway Hospital. But anyway, these two people have been denied treatment at Medway Hospital, saying that COVID is too bad, the numbers are too high, and they are full up with COVID patients on ventilators and wards and all that lot. Well, now these two patients haven't got COVID. They don't need to go to a COVID unit. One needs a hip replacement, and the other one, especially in this time of night, he's already had it delayed apparently twice, right? But he's had a fall now, and he's knocked it again, and it needs emergency hip replacement now. That's what they're saying. Medway Hospital denied him treatment, saying that Medway Hospital no longer is working and that they are now no longer taking in patients. This other care home, stent. Too overdue a stent. Look, the patient's going to die unless it gets this stent, yeah? Right? Medway Hospital not taking anyone in, blah, blah, too filled up with COVID patients. It's too rife. They've shut the hospital down. So I ring the hospital up this morning. The voice message and everything else. They've now reduced restrictions, and they're allowing more patients to have visitors. Right? So I ring up and speak to the receptionist. I asked to speak to someone in charge, a supervisor or someone. I speak to a supervisor. I'm on hold for about 2-3 minutes. I'm walking around fucking Asda doing my shopping. This was as I first walked in. And, yeah, deny. No, we ain't heard nothing about that. No, we haven't heard nothing about that. So I mentioned the 2 patients in 2 different care homes. To the hospital, I mentioned the care homes. And she's like, well, I can't answer that. You're going to have to ring back Monday. Who is this anyway? And I went, it doesn't matter who this is. She went, yeah, it does, because you wouldn't be able to get information like that, blah, 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 blah. I went, okay, I'm a reporter. She went, you're a reporter. Well, I'm not allowed to talk to you anyway. We're not allowed to talk to any kind of reporters under the coronavirus guidelines. I went, so you're not allowed to give me information about how busy your wards are, how much space and occupancy you've got in your wards, or how much beds you've been used up and all that lot. I said, because you're refusing patients from care homes that need operations and need stuff, life-saving treatments, and you're refusing them based on COVID-19 lockdown rules, even though we're not in one, saying that your hospital's being closed due to coronavirus measurements and all that lot, and being full up with coronavirus patients and having no room at all for anyone else. Yet on your little fucking voice recording, it says that you've relaxed your restrictions and that you're allowing more visitors. Yet to care homes, you're telling them that you've got no fucking room and you're full of COVID-19. So which one is it? Are you lying to the general public, or are you just lying to care homes? With that, she put the phone down on me. So I am going to ring back Monday. I'm going to speak to a manager, because this is fucking disgraceful. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. They're lying to care homes about how busy they are and how full up they are. You're causing fucking genocide. NHS, you need to stand up and be accountable now. You're fucking going to be complicit to genocide. And when this all comes crashing down on the government's head, and it all comes out that all these fucking people that have died in care homes as a result of lockdown measures and refused fucking operations, and people's nans and granddads have been dying, I'm telling you now, I'd have the care homes, and I said this to 2 of my friends, I'd be suing the care homes for medical negligence, and I'd be fucking suing the government and NHS. But the care homes are just as much to blame for allowing that and not fighting and not arguing. Just accepting it. And I was told by both people not to put their names or their companies or the care homes on Facebook, otherwise they'd lose their job, as they've had to sign declarations to say they're not allowed to talk about anything. One's a private care home, one's an NHS care home. Okay? So, it's bollocks. Everyone's complacent, everyone's involved, and it's okay. It's okay to stick masks on your children, yet a year ago, if you stuck a mask on your child, you'd be having social services knocking on your door, doing you for fucking child abuse. But now it's all right to stick a fucking mask on our children because the government and BBC say so. BBC are paedophiles. Government who are paedophiles, right? It's all right for us to stick masks on our children because that's what the government say so, even though 85%, and it's a fucking fact, 85% of people that are dying of getting coronavirus at the moment are people that have been wearing masks for months. This person who works in this care home wears a mask quite a lot, and yet she's got a chest infection. Right? I haven't got a chest infection, and I've been around her a lot, and I don't wear a mask. Okay? She wears a mask all the time, 9 to 10 hours a day at work. She's got a chest infection. I don't have a chest infection. I haven't had one illness since this fucking thing, apart from a stomach ache, a stomach upset, bad food, and an abscess in my mouth. Yeah, that's all I've had this year. Fucking clear as crystal. Don't even take the right vitamins. Don't even eat the right food. I eat junk food. But I have a balanced diet. I do have salad. I do have vegetables. But I have a balanced diet. At the end of the day, I smoke. I drink. Do you know what I mean? And yet I'm healthier than most people that are wearing a mask out there. This is what I'm saying to people. You don't fucking realise. And yeah, people are going to go, oh, you're the lucky ones. No, fucking 90% of people that are lucky are not wearing a mask and not doing as they're told because they know that masks are going to make you more ill. Yeah? They are making people more ill. People that are wearing masks are getting a coronavirus. Why is that? Because of all the dirt and dust. I had a go with my friend yesterday. She put the mask in her handbag and put it back out and quickly popped it on. I went, don't wear a mask. She went, oh, just can't bother the aggro. I went, well, I'm not being funny. You've just taken that out of your handbag. She went, yeah. I went, how long's it been in your handbag? You've been at work today. Don't tell me that's the mask you're wearing at work. And you've been wearing all day. I went, no wonder you're ill. Please. No wonder you're ill. For fuck's sake, people. Oh, mate, another one of my friends works in a care home. 4 of them went to get a fucking test because they have to, everyone in care homes now gets tested weekly. Yet the patients don't get tested. What the fuck? The patients only get tested, end-of-life patients and patients that are really dying, they only get tested, right, if they come down with symptoms. Yet the carers and the people working in the care homes have to be tested regularly on a set day every week. 4 people went down to get tested in the same car, right? 2 of them negative, 2 of them positive, yeah? 2 negative, 2 positive. The 2 that were positive got told to isolate for 14 days, even though they didn't have symptoms. The 2 that are negative have gone back to work, working as normal. Yet they were in the same car as each other with no masks on. Duh! Really? And yet they're wearing masks 8 to 10 hours a day, and yet the residents ain't got to wear a mask, even though they're the ones they're meant to be protecting. And I get they're protecting them from other people. But my friend's gone to work with a fucking chest infection. She's been wearing a mask 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and she went to get a test the other day. There was 2 of them without a mask. 4 of them without a mask, in the car because they work together. They don't need to wear a mask. They work together all day long, right? And 2 of them live in the same house. 2 of them got tested negative. 2 of them got tested positive. The 2 that got tested negative have gone back to work as if nothing's happened. Not even isolate at all. Yeah? Right, even though they're in the same car and they've worked with each other, right? But the 2 that tested positive, it's the same as my other friend. She's got 3 kids, right? The oldest one has been told to isolate because he's mixed with someone who's tested positive for a coronavirus, so he's got to isolate. But he's not tested or nothing like that. He's just been told to isolate because the whole class has. Yeah, he's going home to 2 other kids that go to school and play in the same playground. They haven't been told to isolate because they're in different classes. Fucking hell, when will people wake up and realise none of this makes sense and it's all a load of bullshit and none of it makes sense? It's like the virus has got a fucking zigzag in between people, and they go home and they're like, I can stick to my oldest pupil at school because he's isolating, but I won't go near the other 2 kids because they're not isolating, they're going to school like good little kids, and yet they're coming home to the kid who's isolating who might have the virus. So he might have the virus, so I'll leave him alone. I'll just touch him. I'll leave him alone. No, what am I doing? Even the virus doesn't know what he's fucking doing. Really? This is so fucked up, it's getting beyond a fucking joke. It's comical. And there's fucking millions of people out there still wearing a mask, not asking the questions, not going, this doesn't make sense. Fucking doesn't make sense. It's taking balls of Liverpool and balls of fucking Germany to actually stand up and be counted. And yet everyone else is complicit to child abuse, complicit to fucking DNRing and refusing fucking medical treatment to our elderly and our nans and our granddads. And just letting them die and not giving them the treatment. They could turn other wards around within 24 hours, completely sanitise it and start taking in these fucking these elderly in care homes. They could. It wouldn't take them much to swap a care home. I've seen Asda, I've seen Tesco's within 24 hours change their whole store around and be open the next day. They could change wards around in hospitals, in Medway hospitals. Don't tell fucking care homes that you're shut down and you're not taking anyone in. You could quite easily change the wards around to take in these elderly patients from care homes without damaging the NHS or stretching it. You are not full up. You are not full up. I can walk into a hospital. In fact, the next week, I'm going to walk into Medway Hospital. I'm going to walk around and I'm going to investigate because I'm not being funny. And if I find out what I think I'm going to find out, and I am going to ring up Medway Hospital and I am going to question them. And if I find out what I think I'm going to find out, I will be taking my megaphone and I'll be standing outside Medway Hospital, mark my words, and I will be exposing Medway Hospital for the fucking fake, fraud, genocide, murdering fucking arseholes they are. Because at the end of the day, they're denying elderly patients life-saving treatments, saying they are fully booked up and they are full up. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. They could change other wards around rather than just tell an elderly person in a care home on end of life as well, telling them, no, we've got no room. You'll have to go to another hospital. And yet we've all got to wear masks to protect the elderly and the vulnerable. Really? Really? Wake up. Peace out. I know it's Saturday morning. I've just been shopping. I'm going to pick up my little girl. But yeah, this is getting absolutely fucking ridiculous now, and I'm getting to the point where it's becoming, it's obvious genocide, murderous child abuse, and all these rules are changing, you know, and it just don't make sense. It don't make sense. And anyone that's complicit with the NHS or care homes that are allowing this to go on, when the guillotine fucking drops, don't be turning around going, I was just doing as I was told, because you've got a duty of care to your patients as well. Don't worry. Like, I've heard too much from care workers and people like that. I'm too worried about losing my job. So you'd rather kill someone knowingly and be complicit to it than lose your job, are you? And that's what I've said to all my friends in care homes. You'd rather fucking be known and be complicit to killing an elderly person, someone's nan or granddad, in a fucking care home than lose your fucking job. Let that sting with you, please, people. Let that sting with you. Because that's basically the size of it these days. Peace out. One love. Be safe. Take care.